Okay, let the record show, I never intended to do a part 4 or a part 5 if I end up doing one. So, the Wagon Box fight. It's one of those familiar battles of the Indian Wars. I guess it's because it's unusual. So, they made this Wagon Box fight camp almost to, chop the wood in the different canyons. It was situated not far from a steep drop-off into the Piney Creek. This would be, this wouldn't be very good during the battle. But, for now, it was pretty good. They had a camp outside of the Wagon Box where the soldiers slept and had camp. Every day, they load up some wagons, go out into the different canyons, chop wood, and return back to Fort Kearny with them loaded with wood. Which is exactly what, the fort needed to survive. Now, the Indians had a little bit of a dilemma on their hands. Some of them wanted to attack Fort T.S. Smith, others kept wanting to attack Fort Kearny. So the Cheyenne and their other allies left, while Red Cloud, Crazy Horse, and the rest of the Sioux stayed and would fight at Fort Kearny, while the others were at T.F. Smith, which is kind of a bummer because if they had a lot more, they could have had a lot more success. Anyhow, the soldiers, these were reinforcements. The guys at the Wagon Box fight. There's about 26 of them and a few civilians. They, instead of using the obsolete Springfield percussion cap rifles like they did at the Fetterman fight, these guys have trapdoors. Rifles. Trapdoors, breech loading. They're a lot better if you want to shoot a lot. They're just a lot less obsolete. These are up to date. The Indians did not know this. In addition, the men had a howitzer. Anyway, August 2nd, 1867. The men wake up for another day. I don't think they expected anything unusual, like what happened in the Wagon Box. Some of the men are sent off in different canyons. A few men are sent to a canyon a little bit to the left if you look at the Bighorn Mountains. And they start chopping wood. Now, the Indians were planning an attack, and there was quite a few women and children who watched the battle from a distance, of course, but not. Anyway, so the Indians charge through this canyon and they attack the boys cutting the wood, and they freak out as any normal person would do, and try to make a run back to the Wagon Box. They 2 men are killed. At least one person's killed. I don't know for sure. One of them is killed as they run back. And all of the soldiers freak out and jump into the Wagon Box. About, like I said, 26 of them against about 1,000 Indians. How can they stand a chance? Red Cloud is also walking the battle from a distance on a hill, safe from out of range from the further bullets. Anyhow, the first attack comes from the southeast. Several hundred mounted warriors. There's a problem because this direction is where the tents are. That tent they have, the little camp thing they had outside of the Wagon Box is in the way. But they can kind of get good shots at them, I guess. The Indians charge in, and they're expecting a after one volley, the soldiers would be out of ammo, have to spend a long time reloading, and the Indians would be upon them and club them to death. Little did they know, these are trapdoors and they can fire a lot rapidly. So, as they all take aim, the Indians quickly duck behind their horses and dodge their first volley. Then they mount back on and they right towards the wagon box, but suddenly a second volley is fired, a lot faster. And the Indians are kind of confused. Shouldn't they be reloading right now? Another volley, and another volley, and another volley. The Indians kind of freaked out, and they run off. The first attack is beaten back. Now the commanders of the wagon box is Captain James Powell, who was, also involved in the Fetterman fight. I mean, he wasn't, fighting there, but he was there before. And another lieutenant, I forget his name. It starts with an F. Powell was actually taking a bath in the Piney River when the first attack happened, and he quickly jumps back on his horse and drives back half naked, and takes charge of the situation. A second attack comes from the northeast, I believe, and they're beaten back, and the Indians were very confused about, what's going on. While this is happening, they're firing so rapidly, some mule manure in the wagon box fight catches fire, and the soldiers panic and try to put it out as another attack happens. There's only 4 real attacks that they know of. There could have been more, but there was at least 4. Many of them were mounted, one of them weren't. It was about 15 minutes, between 15 and 45 minutes between each assault. While this is going on, the Indians have new guns from the Fetterman massacre. Although most of them are obsolete, Springfields. And they get on that steep drop-off next to the Penny behind the wagon box and start sniping it. And this was a threat they didn't really think of, that they would be I guess all of this. The soldiers tried to do the best they can to keep the Indians down, and in the little diamond-looking thing between the wagons when they come together, 2 soldiers are hit in the head and killed, and the second lieutenant, the guy I forgot his name of, was just walking around the wagon boxes as if nothing was going on. And then we're like, hey, you idiot, just don't be an idiot. Sit down, or just get down. He looks at him and says, these Indians can't shoot. All of a sudden, he gets a bullet between the forehead and dies instantly. Finally, the last attack is made, and the soldiers have ran out and knocked down their tents so they can, aim correctly. These guys get within 50 yards of the wagon box. Many people are killed, including Red Cloud's nephew, I believe it was killed in the attack, but the attack was not successful. Not one Indian actually reached the wagon boxes. Now, the Indians were kind of famous, I guess, for not leaving any dead behind. And many of them made mad dashes to capture the dead. But 2 of them were not recovered, which was very unusual. The men cut off their heads, mutilated the bodies, and shipped the heads back east like any normal person would do. And they might still be back east somewhere. I actually don't know more about them. Anyhow, casualty-wise, nobody knows how many Indians were killed in front of wagon box fight, Captain Powell said the whole Sioux Nation was killed there. I'm not so sure about that. At one point, Red Cloud says, I lost all my best warriors there. Another time he says he only killed 6. And many of the soldiers said they killed 60. So I personally think the number is somewhere between 6 and 60. Anyhow, the operations continued for the rest of the rest of the year, cutting down wood as usual, and there's still little Indian attacks here and there. But the Wagon Fox is one of the last major attacks on the wood train. A few days earlier, though, there was a battle similar in casualties. It was pretty much the same as the Wagon Box fight, except instead of wagon boxes, it was hay bales. Afterwards, they did move the Wagon Box camp, but in 1868, the officers, just pretty much everyone began to wonder, hey yo, is Fort Kearny, the Bozeman Trail, worth defending? A lot of lives, a lot of people were killed in defending the Bozeman Trail. And not only were these 3, including the hayfield fight, battles, there was also lots and lots of little skirmishes, like, at the Crazy Woman Creek fight, there was a woman who lifted up her skirt and scared off, I think, like 2 Indians. And just a bunch of things like this. A lot of people were killed, though. They began to wonder, is this worth defending? And at this time, the railroad is being built. And so soon, these wagon trails are going to be obsolete. After a while, they decided the Bozeman Trail is not worth defending. And a treaty was made with Red Cloud. Red Cloud knew the soldiers wouldn't live up to their treaty. Like, they never did. They never kind of was honest with the Indians. But he signed, and he eventually died at Reservation Indian. The Red Cloud's War is considered one of the only Native American conflicts in the West, that is, where it resulted in a Indian victory, and the army was defeated. The blood spilled at the Fetterman massacre and Fort Kearny and Wagon Box, all of it should be remembered. Just a personal note, if you happen to live in Wyoming, especially the Fort Kearny area, I would recommend you join a little living history group called the Kearny Regulars. I'm a member. We're looking for more members. Very fun. I hope if you do, I would highly recommend you join them. And if you don't, that's alright. Anyway, thanks a whole lot for watching, and I guess I'll see you next time. Thank you.